Hey guys, Tech Central here, and today I'm going to be reacting to the Verge's PC build. So, as you can see here, it's shitty, and I will explain to you guys why. And there's a bunch of different reactions to it. So there's this one, but from a bunch of different creators that I'll show you guys at the end. But let's hop right into it.
And it's definitely not going to hold up for Battlefield 5. So let's build a new one.
Actually, no,
So a few years ago, TC, or managing editor, built a gaming desktop, but it's kind of out of date, and it's definitely not going to hold up for Battlefield 5. So let's build a new one. You can build a gaming desktop for around $1,000, but
okay, you could build it for $1,000 cheaper, $750, sometimes even $100, $125 for $500.
I want to go all out, so I spent around $2,000.
$2,000 is a good chunk of change for a good gaming PC.
PC like this is going to be able to play most games at ultra settings. So, What do you need to build a desktop? Well, of course, first you need a table.
Okay, guys, so first of all, I thought I could put it in the midair. Who the heck doesn't know you need a working surface? Okay, so you can build a PC in midair? Hell no. You gotta have a working surface, so you don't. And also, guys, what part of, yeah, let's just move on. So let's see, this initially isn't going well. So you don't need a table. Actually, no, you do need a table, but you don't have to tell us that. It's just common sense.
Preferably not metal. If it's going to be metal, have an anti-static working surface layered on top of it, a thermal paste applicator, an Allen wrench. Okay,
once some people use a thermal paste applicator, you don't actually need it though. And I've never used an Allen wrench ever in building a PC. Never.
Some tweezers to tighten up the wires.
That's not a tweezer. Those are zip ties. Oh my god. His terminology is horrible.
A Swiss Army knife, which hopefully has a Phillips head screwdriver in it.
Okay, why you don't need a Swiss Army knife that hopefully has a Phillips head screwdriver? Hopefully. No, you just get a damn screwdriver and build it. That's all you just need, a screwdriver. Dang. I don't need a Swiss Army knife.
Last but not least, an anti-static bracelet, which is to protect you
and
the parts.
Yes, you do.
These are the parts you're going to need, but more importantly,
that's not even grounded. He's not even wearing a bracelet that grounds himself. He's probably just wearing like one of those bracelets that say support cancer.
Before we get there,
like
we need to understand what these parts are doing and how they interact with one another. To better understand the parts that make up a desktop, let's try to understand them individually. The processor is like the computer's brain, a base of calculations that control everything the computer does. The motherboard is like the foundation, serving as a main structure for all its kind to it. In that order, you want extra several PC parts you might PC and make sure that they all offer to find deals on new parts. Which sort of part conflicts you might have, and where to find deals on new parts. We have a lot of boxes and a lot of PC parts, so it's best you unbox them, isolate the parts that you really need, place items in.
Okay, you don't need to unbox all your parts.
And where to
you
find
can do it
on
a little bit at a time. You don't have to.
We have a lot of boxes and a lot of PC parts.
Okay, guys, you don't have to do this. If you don't have that big of a desk, you're probably gonna run out of space and drop half your stuff and break it all. So no, you don't unbox everything. You probably want to unbox your motherboard, your memory or RAM, your AIO or your CPU cooler, your CPU, and maybe if you have an M.2 SSD or NVMe SSD, maybe unbox that if you have room for it, or yeah.
So it's best you unbox them, isolate the parts that you really need, place items into the case, and
oh my god, you know what, guys? I'm not even gonna explain what's wrong with this because it's probably gonna happen later in the video. But you want to put this cases or the power supply. You're supposed to put the fan on the outside so you can take in airflow. You're gonna burn out the entire PC.
And make sure that they all fit, and then start working. And now we're really gonna start building by adding the motherboard in. Some notes about installing motherboards: they're really delicate. You should be really careful with them. And screw in with confidence, but also don't screw in too hard, otherwise you could crack the board.
I like that dude's style. Screw in with confidence, but not too hard. And also, guys, they're fragile, but not that fragile. You don't have to treat them with care, but it's not like if you put it down somewhere without being extremely gentle, you're gonna break it now.
I chose Asus's Z370
what? It's Asus Z390
motherboard for two main reasons. One, it has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and also...
Okay, you do not choose a motherboard based on if it's having built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Horrible decision, just based on that.
It has support for NVMe SSDs, meaning you can get really fast SSDs that are really easy to install. Pay close attention to the brace that goes at...
What? Okay, it's not called a brace. It's called an I/O shield. Wait, right? Yeah. It's an I/O shield. It's not a brace. What is he talking about? That's an I/O shield.
The back of the computer. You always have to make sure that you really hammer it in.
Please do not hammer in your I/O shield.
Because there's no screw. It really just has to go outside of the case and clasp onto the...
Does it not clasp? But please do not hammer it in.
Frame. And this is very important because otherwise you can't align the motherboard correctly with the holes. We're just going to start installing all 8 screws.
Okay, well, honestly, actually no, guys. Never put in your motherboard first. You want to get as much as you can on your motherboard, like your CPU, your memory or your RAM, your SSDs, your CPU. If you have like an AIO or a actually no, don't do your AIO. If you have like an air cooler, you can put it on there. Okay, this dude just wire all 4. Okay. Don't
so next
this,
we're going to install
please.
the RAM on the motherboard. I chose Corsair's 16GB Vengeance LED RAM for two main reasons. One, it has LEDs and we do like lights in our gaming desktops. Secondly, it's pretty fast RAM. It's 2666 megahertz, I believe, so it's pretty...
Okay, 2666 megahertz is not fast at all for DDR4 RAM. Most people get 3000, 3200, or 3600 even megahertz. 2666 is fast for DDR3, but look, 3600 megahertz RAM. You can get RAM for yeah, like look, it's not even that expensive. $70. You see, 3600, like this guy. See, you don't even. See, look, 3697. Even let's see. Okay, this is slow. This is slow. Do not get this. Get something with at least 3000 megahertz if you're using DDR4, please.
And this motherboard supports that speed, which is most important. Open the slots first, and just aligning...
Okay, you only have 2 sticks, so you don't need to open all 4.
The stick with the middle of the strip, not with the...
Okay, this is not aligned with this. You're gonna break the RAM.
And just lining that up with the logo.
Oh, they cut away so they don't see it.
So once you hear that solid clasp and you don't...
Not clasp. You mean click? Please?
See the gold connectors on the side anymore, that's when you know the RAM is in. Step 3, we're going to install the hard drive. Or in this case, the NVMe on the side anymore, that's when you know the RAM is in. Step 3, we're going to install the hard drive. Or in
have dual channel support on that motherboard. If you have a motherboard, you don't want to install 2 RAM sticks right next to each other. You put one in A2 and one in B2. So one in the 4th slot and one in the 2nd slot. RIP dual channel. So memory RAM support.
In this case, the NVMe SSD. I chose this format of solid state drive so that I could input it into the motherboard without having to worry about extra wires or putting it in a separate part of the case and just getting really messy. This is from Kingston, and it's 480 gigabytes, so it's not a lot, but you can always upgrade this and swap it out, and it's only held down by 1 screw.
Okay, you're supposed to put a standoff there so the thing stays. You don't just screw it directly into the motherboard, because right now it's going to be going down at an angle. You usually put a standoff there, or like I'm pretty sure it's a standoff, and it may no. Let me rephrase that. You put a standoff there to make sure the NVMe SSD is straight and flat.
And the latch, so it's really simple and really straightforward. Speed for gaming is important when it comes to a hard drive. You want files to write quickly and you want games to load quickly, so that's why it's best if you use an SSD. Okay, so step 4, we're going to install the graphics card. I chose PNY's GTX 1080, which is overclocked, and so it's a pretty easy installation. You're just going to find the gold connectors, and you're going to line this bracket with the back end bracket of your PC case. Now, which lane you choose depends entirely on what other parts you're going to put in the system. I'm just going to pick the top one because the SSD is at the bottom, and I don't...
Okay, no. You pick the top slot of your motherboard because it has more bandwidth. Dang, this guy really has no clue what he's talking about. Yeah, but you always put it at the top. If you have one, you always put it at the top. If you have two, then you put top and bottom.
I want to cover it. I just think it looks nice.
Okay, it does not matter if it looks... Some people are aesthetics, but always put it in the top because it has more bandwidth.
Click down. Take your remaining brackets and just put them in the spots that you haven't used. You don't have to screw these in.
Okay, don't know why you uninstalled all 4. You just need to uninstall 2.
They get bolted down by the back end bracket. And your GPU is installed. Power supply.
No. GPU not installed. I mean, I guess it is installed, but it's not gonna work. You still gotta power it.
I chose Corsair's 850 watt power supply because I need enough headroom for ray tracing GPUs when they come out, and I don't want to have to upgrade it again. Okay. So all you have to do is take the brick and make sure that you align it with these little insulating pads.
What are you insulating against? No. They're static pads, I'm pretty sure.
So the power supply doesn't short circuit and come into contact.
Okay, no. What did he say it was? You're not insulating against anything. Okay, no.
Insulating pads.
They're not insulating at all.
Short circuit and come into contact with the rest of the system.
Yeah, they're not insulating pads at all.
Take it in, slide it in nice and.
Oh, please no! Please no! You're gonna fry your entire PC. You put your fan on the outside.
Easy until you have a snug fit, and then shift it to the back and make sure it's right up against the frame. Now you just take the required screws and you tighten and screw in. So next step, we're going to install the CPU cooler. In this case, it's going to go on the top end of the case, and we're just going to have the hose hang out for a little while until we install the processor, which is going to come a little later.
No! The processor is the first thing you always install!
Always be sure to try to place it in the system first before...
Wait. I'm pretty sure I can do it.
A little later. Always be sure to...
I can see through that. That's the table. You're supposed to put your fans on there.
Place it in the system first before you install it, because you can see it takes up a lot of space.
Okay.
But in this case,
it's supposed to be fans.
No pun intended, it fits in perfectly, and we're going to start screwing it in. And so there's nothing special about this screwing in process. They're just really long screws because they go through the entire frame of the cooler.
Okay, no. They're long screws because you're supposed to put in your fans with it when you screw in your fans with it. With the radiator, so that's why they're long screws, because it has to go through the radiator and the fans to make sure they're secure. What is this dude talking about?
And they take forever.
Okay.
So next up, cables. Every power supply is going to come with a big bag of Velcro cables.
Okay, no. There's 3 types of power supplies. There's modular or fully modular, semi-modular, and not modular at all. Non-modulars, all the cables are already installed. Semi-modular, some are installed, some are not installed. And fully modular, where you're going to get all these cables.
It's kind of daunting at first, so you always have to find the ones that are going to fit. In this case, you need to match those cables with the correct descriptions on the power supply. Next step is we're connecting the power supply to the motherboard with a 24-pin cable.
Okay, what happened to those fans?
We're just matching that cable from the motherboard, threading it through the back, and attaching the 24-pin header.
You still haven't put in the fans yet?
To the power supply so that we can have one of the connections complete. The next few additions will be for the GPU, for any specific ports that the case has, for any lighting that the case has, the CPU cooler, anything else really. We're installing the CPU, the heart of the computer or the brain, depending on how you look at it. So to do this, we're just going to remove the plastic covering that they put on the motherboard. We're just going to take this little plastic...
Okay, no, you don't do that. When you undo the latch, the thing will come off. Actually, no. When you undo it, the entire thing comes up, and then when you put the CPU down, that thing will pop off. And you would know that if you did it at the beginning.
Or out.
Or now.
Just toss that out of here.
Okay, do not throw that out. Do not throw that. If your motherboard is broken, they're gonna want that thing back. If you try to report it without that, yeah, you're not gonna get a new motherboard.
And now we have an exposed CPU holder, or rather slot, on the motherboard.
Okay.
And we're going to use the CPU applicator. This is a special...
Okay, I've never used that. No.
Part that not everyone may get, but this motherboard that we got from ASUS definitely does have. It's called a CPU installation tool. It makes it really...
Okay, you do not need that to install. He's overcomplicating it so much.
Useful if you want to install a Core i7 hexa-core CPU. Yeah, we've got one, and it's...
Oh my god, it's super limited. You only can find it in almost every major retail. You can find that CPU in so many different places.
8th generation.
It's only super limited. No.
And it's ready to go, and it supports overclocking. So...
Okay, please do not overclock your CPU. Please do not overclock your PC.
So what having this little installer does for you is it's basically a brace that you can apply right to the CPU.
Okay.
And light it up with the triangles that you'll see on the bottom left corner.
Okay, yes, there's one small white triangle, and all you have to do is when your motherboard's out, find that small triangle where the latches, and you line those up, and you're done.
And this will make it easier for us to apply it to the motherboard, and then apply thermal paste and...
Yeah, because you didn't even put it in at the beginning. You see, the CPU is the first thing you install on a computer. Okay, don't watch this if you're actually building a computer. Please don't.
Apply a CPU cooler on top. And we're just going to carefully lean it down into the system and make sure that everything lines up. And we're going to clasp down on it, and we'll be good to go.
No, you don't need to clasp down on it. All you do is take that latch, put it on, you're done. Okay, that's
so we're about to apply thermal paste to the CPU.
Okay, if you have this AIO, you do not need thermal paste. There's already thermal paste on there. You just put it on and you're done.
Every CPU cooler actually comes with a bit of thermal.
Okay, nope. Every CPU cooler does not come with thermal paste, but this one does.
Thermal paste already neatly applied in a circle.
Nope, it doesn't.
But it's usually not enough. It's good, essentially PC building practice to have a little bit extra and layer it on top of the CPU.
What? No. If you're gonna do that, wipe out the thermal paste on the actual cooler part that goes on your CPU, and all you need to do is it's a P-dot method, and you just put a small P-dot on the center, and you're done. You don't need that's nasty.
The final portion.
You don't need that.
Add the CPU cooler to the top end of the processor. So you're gonna see that there are 4 brackets, or rather like screws in here with brackets and holders right here. And they're going to keep the cooler raised off the processor, but it's also going to be close enough to actually physically come. Step 3.
I just went really, really far back. Okay, guys, but while I'm going through this, no, please no. It's not gonna keep. It's gonna keep it a little bit off, but further enough, no. Oh my god. I would never recommend watching this. If you guys are building a PC, please do not follow this. Please don't.
But it's XPU brackets, or rather like screws in here with brackets.
Thank you.
And holders right here.
Yep.
And they're going to keep the cooler raised off the processor, but it's also going to be close
enough but not enough.
In contact with it, like basically keep it cool. Take thumb screws.
Oh, it's supposed to keep it cool.
And just screw them on. So now that our internals are done, we're going to put all the panels back on, which is the top glass, side glass, front glass, and of course the back panel where...
Okay, what'd you do with your fans? You're not going to cool your computer at all.
All of this fun stuff is happening. So we fully built the PC, everything...
Wait.
Panel where...
Give me a second. This happened.
So we fully built...
Okay, well, you don't do that, because if, let's say, the rubber on this part breaks, you're going to destroy your GPU, which sucks, and you still have, and rip dual memory, you're supposed to put 1 and 8 2 and A2 and B2, or the second and fourth slot, never right next to each other, unless your motherboard only has 2 slots.
PC, everything's put together, and we got to the post screen. So what?
Wow, good job. How do you get to the post screen?
What's next? Well, you need a USB flash drive with your Windows installation media on it, and of course a license key. So I plugged that up, installed Windows in a couple of minutes, installed a bunch of drivers, and now we have a fully functioning gaming PC ready to run some games. Right?
That's a surprise.
Right now I've got Arma 3 running at maximum settings, native resolution, which is 1080p HD, and it's running pretty smoothly.
Yeah, cause the entire background can be.
Average.
You see, all this can be blurred, and all you need to do is actually see your plane. It's not that much.
Yes, and this is normally like a very intensive game to run, and it's
What?
still doing a pretty good job. So right now I'm playing League of Legends. It's one of my.
League of Legends can run on any crappy laptop. It could run the crappiest of laptops. It's meant for that. It's meant to be run on anything.
I'm actually playing against a bot, and I'm distracted, so I'm not actually doing so well. But otherwise, like, this is pretty much what you would see me do on a gaming computer. Test stuff out, and hopefully.
This is the worst benchmark game ever.
Have really high frame rates like I am right now. I'm averaging 120 FPS, and that's only because I've actually locked the game.
Yeah, probably because your monitor doesn't even go above that.
To that frame rate, because I can get.
And then you'll experience a lot of ghosting.
Playing League on maximum settings, which is a little bit absurd. And
it's not absurd at all. Oh my god.
And you don't really need that, so I locked it. Building a gaming desktop has been a great experience.
I'm just gonna say this is the worst PC build guide ever. So, see, verge PC build. I'm gonna show you guys a bunch of people who reacted to it. You have a bunch. Okay, so right here you have a bunch of people who Bitwit and a bunch of people who've built a computer. You got Linus Tech Tips, like. You got Linus Tech Tips, XQC, Christopher E, Kylie. Okay, yeah, this makes more sense. So, what's the tutorial? So many people have reacted to it. See, watch. Okay. Yes, follow Bitwit. Look, if I go PC build. PC build, you're gonna see a bunch of people who have done it. Follow Bitwit, Final Tech Source, follow Bitwit, Linus Tech Tips, and Tech Source are really reliable. Robbie Tech, don't know. Joey Delgado, yes. Austin Evans, yes. Tech Source, yes. Tech Source, yeah, 100%. Bitwit, yeah. PC Centric, yep. If you did one. Yeah, there's so many people who have done a full one. So just follow one of these guys, please. Do not follow Verge. So say peace out guys, and my overall description of this video was Verge. Do you even know how to build a PC? Cause that was crap. I'm gonna break your computer in like max a week. Dang. Peace out.